When I first started my freight dispatch company, I went out of business. I was in business for maybe 9 months. And because of my pricing strategy, because of the way that I was charging, because I had no systems, no structure, no nothing in my business, because I was scared to charge, I literally had to close my doors because it was not sustainable. And yes, dispatching and freight dispatching is not a high overhead style business, but it is a high exchange of time style business. And if you are not being compensated for your time, then this business is not going to work for you. And let's be honest, if you're watching this video, one or two things is happening for you. Either you don't know what to charge and you're confused and it's keeping you stuck from starting your business, or two, you're undercharging and you are stressed because you know that you should be making more money for the amount of value that you are providing to your clients that you have. Welcome into this video, y'all. Today we're going to be discussing why your pricing is not right and why you're not charging enough. Okay. And also one of the things that we're going to be covering today as well too is how to know if you're charging enough and what to charge. Right? You have to be charging people enough to survive, and let alone scale, right? How are we going to add employees? How are we going to add on additional softwares? How are we going to increase our systems? We have to be able to make enough money to handle that. All right. So my name is Coach G, and I help dispatchers become CEOs and start their own companies, not become self-employed. All right. And for those of you who are new here, I am the founder of the Get Money Dispatch Score. The link is in the bottom in the bio in the description box. If you are interested in taking the score, I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Okay, so the reasons you're undercharging and not charging enough for your services and what to do about it. Let's jump right on into this content. So reason number one, you're pricing from fear and not value. So I understand. I get it, right? There are so many voices in these social media streets telling you what to do for dispatch, what you can't do, what you can do, what to charge, what not to charge. You have some coaches telling you to charge 10%. You have other coaches telling you to charge 3%, right? There's such a vast of pricing strategies out there. You don't know what's a good fit for you. So I like to look at things logically and strategically, and I'm going to help you break those things down on how to figure that out. Okay? So in these situations, right, I want you to understand that cheap clients cost more than you think. They cost more in time, stress, and missed opportunities. Normally, the client that is okay with paying what you charge is the client that's going to work the hardest for you, the client that's going to value you, and the client that's going to hustle for themselves. Okay? So we want to make sure that we are not missing opportunities because we are underpricing ourselves. So one of the things that I like to discuss and I like everyone to understand is a dispatcher's scope of work. Okay. As a dispatcher, freight dispatcher, load planning specialist, lead logistics coordinator. I don't really like the term dispatcher, but that's what everybody uses. So, hey, if you want to diminish yourself to a dispatcher, that's fine. I like logistics coordinator or load planning specialist better myself. But in that particular role, your job is not just to source freight off of load boards. Your job is to make sure that your carrier is meeting all of their KPIs or key performance indicators, which are metrics that they should be using to measure whether their company is doing well or not. So as a logistics coordinator, it is your job to also do route planning. Make sure that they are going to the gas stations that offer the cheapest fuel. Right? Make sure that you are pre-planning their route for them so that you can be efficient with time in deliveries. Okay? Also, managing their drivers, if that's something that you're doing, if you offer fleet management services, right? If they have or need repairs or breakdowns, right? You should be able to refer them to resources that can help them when they're in need. And this should be a part of your scope of work as a dispatch company. Okay, so when we get into ELD monitoring and DQF files and all of those things, these are additional services that can be added on for fleet management. But when we talk about route planning, when we talk about fuel efficiency, when we talk about timing and making coordinations of loads, all of those things are still up under your scope of work, as well as finding the freight. Okay, so when you are allotting and making time for you to do all of these things, you need to be compensated for it. And one of the ways that you can ensure that you are compensated for it is by making sure that you have an effective pricing strategy for your business. Now, if you want to charge a percentage, and let's just say a comfortable percentage for you is 8% or 7%, when there are just one truck in the fleet. If the carrier you're working with or your client starts to expand, you may be able to lower that percentage because now you're increasing volume. Okay? But you need a commission or a percentage-based structure or a flat rate structure or a version of hybrid, which is a flat rate and percentage rate combined. Those are the three pricing strategies that best suit the dispatch company business model. Okay? And you need to predetermine what you're going to charge for each particular equipment type and for the number of trucks in each client's fleet. Okay? Don't be afraid to charge your worth. Understand the value that you provide. And this is why, if you've had the time, I talked in another video about your unique value proposition as a freight dispatcher, and I'll try to link it here as well, because you need to know exactly what you do and who you serve so that you know what your unique value proposition or your competitive advantage is for your company. Because if I am a dispatch company owner and I can't communicate to a carrier how I'm valuable to their business, how I can help them grow their business and sustain their business, then I don't need to be dispatching. If you are thinking that dispatching is a get rich quick, oh, I'm just going to hop in and make a couple dollars and have a business, this is not for you. And I'm sorry, I know nobody else is going to say it, but if you're out here believing that you can dispatch on the beach, this is not for you. You are in charge of revenue production. You are in charge of making sure that your client can put food on their table. So this is a big deal, okay? So let's get into reason number 2. You don't know your numbers, okay? If you don't know your CPC or cost per carrier, how are you effectively charging to make sure that you can keep the lights on in your business? Well, coach, how do I figure out my CPC or my cost per carrier? You need to tally up all of your monthly expenses for your dispatch company. That's your website fees, your email fees, your load board fees, your signing softwares, if there's a portion of your internet that you're using at the house, computers, if you bought a computer, divide the total cost over 12 months. I mean, get down to the nitty gritty. Include your course that you paid for, if you paid for a course, in your CPC and your total expenses. And so let's just say it cost you, again, we're using round numbers so I don't mess up the math in this video. Let's say it cost you $1,000 per month to run your business and you have one carrier. That means your cost per carrier is $1,000. Okay? So that means if you have 5 carriers, your cost per carrier is $200. So we take our total expenses and divide that by the number of clients that are working with our business. And that gives us our cost per carrier. And this is something that you need to be monitoring. Here with our Dispatch Flow calculator, we do have a section on the calculator that allows you to calculate exactly how many carriers you'll need for your business, how many trucks you'll need for your dispatch company in order for you to achieve your target ratio of revenue that you want for the month. So let's say you do want to make $10,000 per month. You'll plug that $10,000 into the calculator, and then it will let you know exactly how many carriers you need based off of whether you're charging them a percentage or a flat rate. It's really cool. We designed this calculator here internally to offer it to our clients, and it also does a lot of other things too that helps you run your business more efficiently. And then what we can do from this is we now can take the amount of carriers that we need and we can use the website traffic calculator to determine exactly how many leads we need to get to the number of carriers we need to make the money. Y'all, listen, God has been good over here, okay? He has helped a lot with allowing us to create resources and tools that help you all run businesses efficiently, okay? So understand, if you have clients and you don't know your numbers, how are you going to maintain your business? Okay? Also, another big piece If you don't know how much time each truck costs you per week, you're just guessing. So if we didn't want to look at it from a cost per carrier perspective, and we wanted to look at it from an hourly perspective, and you want to say, okay, I'm worth $30 an hour. You need to know exactly how many hours it's taking you per client. And then you can equate your fees that you charge based on that. Y'all tracking? Okay. So there is always some type of strategy or methodology to your business. And these are the things and the pieces that people miss. But you're not going to miss it because you're watching this video. Okay. So reason number 3, you think that more clients equals more money. Okay. One of the things that I tell all of my carriers is we don't have to make more money to increase profit. Let me say that again.
We don't have to go and make more money to increase profit.
What we can do is lean down our business. So if I have a carrier who's paying a premium of $18,000 a year for commercial insurance, if I can reduce their premium down to $13,000 per year, I just gave them an increase in profit of $5,000 for the year. And yes, that may not sound like a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's a whole lot of money. So the same thing applies to you in your dispatch company. Okay? So if they are low paying clients, but they are high maintenance, and let's say your average client, you only spend an hour to 2 hours a day dealing with them, but your lower paying high maintenance clients, you're spending 6 hours dealing with them. They are losing you money. Okay? So we have to make sure that we are priced strategically, regardless of what the client says, so that we can make sure that our bottom line is covered and we are in a place of operating in the black, meaning we are making profit. It's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Okay? So you want your business scaling to be peaceful. You don't want to scale a business and have a low profit mess on your hands. And then when it comes time for you to bring in employees, if you're already only charging 3% for dispatching, your clients are only making $6,000 a week, you're only charging 3% of that, there's no room for you to pay someone else to cover this truck for you. You need all that money. So we have to price for scale. Oh, I like that. Price for scale. Okay? Now, you need to focus on attracting premium clients, not premium chaos. How do we attract premium clients? By building a business that's built on strategy, processes, and procedures. That is how you attract quality. I don't want everybody as a carrier client of mine. I don't even want everybody as a student of mine. To get in my mentorship, you have to apply and be accepted. I don't need everybody. I want a premium client, a premium student who I know is going to be invested in their own personal growth. Okay? So I want to make sure also that you can get a bird's eye view of your business. So again, that Get Money Dispatch score is in the description box below. This is going to evaluate your business from the Get Money framework that we've built here. So this is going to let you know all of your gaps and opportunities that you have inside your business, even if you're brand new. Take the score. If you don't score high, that's okay, right? You can't manage what you don't measure. So even if you're brand new, you need to start measuring. And if you're existing and you haven't been measuring, you need to start measuring. And that dispatch score is going to give you the first opportunity to do that. Okay? So let's recap. Fear-based pricing is killing your confidence and is killing your bank account. Guessing about your value and your cost per carrier and your time per carrier is costing you money. Scaling with underpriced clients is a trap. Okay? You need to charge like a CEO. When people go on to Walmart, they don't negotiate. When people go on to Publix, they don't negotiate. When you go to Disney World, you're not negotiating. So why are we doing that in our personal businesses? Okay? Doesn't make any sense. So I want to know in the comments, what are you currently charging per truck? What is your pricing strategy that you are using that has worked best for you? Also, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that bell because I don't want you to miss this next video. We're going to be breaking down why you can't scale solo and what to build before you burn out. Many of you want to get employees and remove yourself from the business, and I'm going to be talking about just that in our next video. So thank you for joining. Thank you for your time. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. All money in, long money